वरधारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय रामाधवा कुञ्जविहारी गोपीजना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama-shloke bhaktir-bhavati naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. This morning we are reciting from the 4th canto, 22nd chapter, text number 40. Kritra mahaniha bhavarnavamaplavesham Shadvarganakrama sukhena titirshanti Tatmam harer bhagavato bhajaniyamangrim Kritvodupam vyasanamuttaradustararnam Krachra mahaniha bhavarnavamaplavesham Shadvarganakrama sukhena titirshanti Tatpam harer bhagavato bhajaniyamangrim Kritvodupam vyasanamuttaradustararnam कृच्छ्रो महानिह भवार्णवमप्लवेशाम् षड्वर्गनक्रमसुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिम् कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनमुत्तरदुस्तरार्णम् कृच्छ्रो महानिह भवार्णवमप्लवेशाम् षड्वर्गनक्रमसुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिम् कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनमुत्तरदुस्तरार्णम् कृच्छ्रो महानिह भवार्णवमप्लवेशाम् षड्वर्गनक्रमसुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिम् कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनमुत्तरदुस्तरार्णम् कृच्छ्रो महानिह भवार्णवमप्लवेशाम् षड्वर्गनक्रमसुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिम् कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनमुत्तरदुस्तरार्णम् माताजी कृच्छ्रो महानिह भवार्णवमप्लवेशाम् षड्वर्गनक्रमसुखेन तितीर्षन्ति तत्त्वं हरेर्भगवतो भजनीयमङ्घ्रिम् कृत्वोडुपं व्यसनमुत्तरदुस्तरार्णम् कृच्छ्रः troublesome, mahan very great, iha here in this life, bhava arnavam ocean of material existence, aplavesham of the non-devotees who have not taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shatvarga, six senses. Nakram, sharks. Asukhena, with great difficulty. Titirshanti, crossover. Tat, therefore. Tvam, you. Hare, of the Personality of Godhead. Bhagavataha, of the Supreme. Bhajaniyam, worthy of worship. Anghrim, the lotus feet. Kritva, making. Udupam, boat. Vyasanam, all kinds of dangers. Uttara, crossover. Dustara, very difficult. Arnam, the ocean. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The ocean of nescience is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of His lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. Please repeat. The ocean of nations is very difficult to cross because it is infested with many dangerous sharks. Although those who are non-devotees undergo severe austerities and penances to cross that ocean, we recommend that you simply take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, which are like boats for crossing the ocean. Although the ocean is difficult to cross, by taking shelter of his lotus feet, you will overcome all dangers. Purport. Material existence is compared herein to the great ocean of nescience. Nescience means ignorance, opposite of knowledge. Another name of this ocean is Vaitarani. In that Vaitarani ocean, which is the causal ocean, there are innumerable universes floating like footballs. On the other side of the ocean is the spiritual world of Vaikuntha, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita 8.20 as Parastasmattu bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. When all these worlds will be destroyed, that world will not be destroyed. Thus, there is an ever-existing spiritual nature which is beyond this material nature. Even though all the material universes are annihilated again and again in the causal ocean, the Vaikuntha planets, which are spiritual, exist eternally and are not subject to dissolution. The human form of life gives the living entity a chance to cross the ocean of nescience, which is this material universe, and enter into the spiritual sky. Although there are many methods or boats by which one can cross the ocean, the Kumaras recommend that the king take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, just as one would take shelter of a good boat. Non-devotees who do not take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet try to cross the ocean of nescience by other methods, karma, jnana and yoga. But they have a great deal of trouble. Indeed, sometimes they become so busy simply enjoying their troubles that they never cross the ocean. There is no guarantee that the non-devotees will cross the ocean. But even though they manage to cross, they have to undergo severe austerities and penances. On the other hand, anyone who takes to the process of devotional service and has faith that the lotus feet of the Lord are safe boats to cross that ocean is certain to cross very easily and comfortably. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Bharat Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki. Prithu Maharaj is therefore advised to take the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord to easily cross over all dangers. Dangerous elements in the universe are compared to sharks in the ocean. Even though one may be a very expert swimmer, he cannot possibly survive if he is attacked by sharks. One often sees that many so-called Swamis and Yogis sometimes advertise themselves as competent to cross the ocean of nescience and to help others cross. But in actuality, they are found to be simply victims of their own senses. Instead of helping their followers to cross the ocean of nescience, such Swamis and Yogis fall prey to Maya, represented by the fair sex woman, and are thus devoured by the sharks in that ocean. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuvanmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। In essence, in today's shloka and the purport, what is mentioned is we are all dropped into the ocean of samsara, sagara, the ocean of samsara, and everyone has to reach the shores of that ocean, which is spiritual world. So material world is the ocean, spiritual world is the shores of the ocean, and you can decide how you want to reach. You can reach by swimming. If you want, you can give a try. Imagine we are dropped in the middle of Atlantic. We are flying in a plane. Suddenly some engine fails, and people open the door and come out. Everybody is falling in the water, for example. Imagine you fall in the middle of Atlantic and you have to swim across the ocean and reach the shores. Or if somebody brings a safe boat which you can board. So the Srimad Bhagavatam, this crossing the ocean, many examples are given. Try to picturize in your mind. Some dog is swimming in Atlantic and you catch hold of the dog's tail. And the dog, like the dog is himself suffocating. Half body is inside, half body is outside. Because dog doesn't know how to swim in the water, isn't it? Some if a dog fell, if you catch hold of the tail of the dog, then you and the dog both will drown. This example is given in Bhagavatam to show those people who take shelter of demigods, they are like those who are catching the tail of a dog in the ocean. Because the demigods can award you some material benedictions, but they cannot take you out of this material existence. Harim bina britim na taranti. Except Lord Hari, nobody else can take you beyond this world to that world. Not possible. Of course, demigods are also devotees of the Lord. They're all administrators of the universe. We are not against them. But they have their limitation. Their limitation is they are like jail keepers. Inside the jail, they can provide you, if you are feeling very cold, they can provide you a blanket. Or if you are feeling hungry, they can provide you food. If you are sick, they can get a doctor for you. But they can't let you out of the jail. They have no capacity to let you out of this world of samsara. They are compared to the dog who is swimming in the water, himself suffocating, and you catch hold of his tail, both drown. The demigods and their planets and their benedictions and their followers, everything will be finished at the time of pralaya. So, in this world, there are different types of pralaya. One pralaya is the pralaya of our body. Right now, those who are young, the young body will turn old. And the old body undergoes pralaya, which is called death. Then again we are reborn. Then at the end of the Kali Yuga, there is one more pralaya, partial annihilation. Then there is Chaturyuga, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. At the end of it, there is one pralaya, correct? No? And these four are combined together called one Divya Yuga. And this Divya Yuga, if you multiply by 1,000, that is called one day of Brahma. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyad Brahmano Viduhu Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Teho Ratra Vido Janaha Bhutagrama Sayevayam Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate Ratragame Avashapartha Ratri Agame. When Brahma's Ratri comes, then all this, planets are annihilated. from the Patala Loka up to the Jana Loka also, the water level rises. Prior to that, the Ananta Shesha emanates fire. So there is scorching of the heat, later on drowning of the water. Two types of pralaya. So one is our bodily pralaya, one is at the end of Kali Yuga, and one is at the end of Brahma's day. That means 1004 yugas. After they're completed, then the Brahma goes to sleep. Just like, for example, all of you, daytime you work hard, the night time you lie down. Night time there is no work, correct, no? So there is a internal work of repairing the body, metabolism, correct, no? Similarly, Brahma also takes rest for 1000 Chaturyugas. So 1000 Chaturyugas he works, 1000 Chaturyugas he has to rest. So that Brahma's night, all the planets are in a drowned state. What happens to the jivas? The jivas are all kept at the bottom of the universe in the navel of Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, from where the lotus comes. In that navel they are resting in a supta avastha. They are all dormant in a sleepy state. All of us are sleeping in Vishnu's navel. But our subtle bodies are covering us. In our subtle body, the desires are also dormant, waiting. Just like, for example, imagine a boy comes from the school. In the evening, 4 o'clock, he returns and tells mother, Mom, today I have to go to a movie at 5 o'clock. Wake me up. And then he went to sleep for 1 hour. Then he got up at 5:30. He saw mother is busy in the kitchen. He jumps up and says, Mom, you forgot to send me. Forgot to wake me up. He gets up. As soon as he gets up, what he thinks of? Movie. Because it was kept in the mind before. Same way the souls are right now sleeping in the navel of Vishnu. And then when they get up, immediately they all get the bodies, respective bodies, and run here and there to give shape to those desires. And then again the Brahma's day starts again. Then Brahma's night. So at the end of Brahma's night, there is a pralaya. Then Brahma's birth is called Mahakalpa. And Brahma's end of life is called Mahapralaya. So this type of Brahma's days, multiple days, constitute one Brahma's year. Brahma has totally 100 years. Till now, 50 years of Brahma are over. It's called Dvipararda. Other 50 years will come eventually. And then after that, Brahma's lifespan will be over. Then there's a Mahapralaya, which means the whole universe will be finished. It will enter into the body of Vishnu. Like scientists say, Big Bang and Big Crunch. Only they don't know the source of Big Bang. This is happening. From Mahavishnu's body, Big Bang is happening. And into Mahavishnu's body, Big Crunch is happening. But these people are thinking everything happening from a point. That's not a point, it's Mahavishnu. So Mahavishnu is expanding and absorbing back into his body. Yasyai ganeshwasita kala mathavalambya jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanatha Vishnur mahan sayiga yasya kala vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Yasya Eka means one exhalation of Vishnu, all the universes are created. And another inhalation of Vishnu, all universes are taken in by him. And in that, Koti Brahmandas are created, and all Brahmas are with folded palms, Pahimam, Rakshamam, Rakshamam. They are all offering namaskar to Vishnu, and they are managing their universe. And then the universes are finished. That's called Mahapralaya. So between Mahakalpa and Mahapralaya, there is Kalpa Pralaya cycles are going on. Creation, annihilation. So one I had a question. Why at all God creates this Srishti and Pralaya? Why not living and it is live peacefully in this world? Why should it? Let there not be any annihilation at all. So then I did a research and I found 8 reasons why the pralaya happens. Maybe I can show you just now. So in my last book, which was never published, in the Essence of Bhagavad Gita, this is in that 4 books are published. This is the last one. In this, I have given those 8 reasons. I'll just show you that. So we are talking about the cosmic creation, and then after the cosmic creation, cosmic annihilation will come. Here it is coming now. It's visible here. Okay. So these are the different ages I said. Brahma's day I said, isn't it? Huh? And then Brahma's night also. So in one Brahma's day, 14 Manus come, each has 71 millenniums. 71 into 14, if you put, it will be 1,000. 1,000 Chaturyugas. Dissolution of that. Here are the, see, valuable lessons to be learned in our lives from cosmic creation and cosmic annihilation. First thing is, why there is an annihilation kept? To create a desire to get out of this world. Isn't it? For example, if you are in the jail, see, in the jail also they give you food, clothing and medication, correct now? What is the purpose of the jail? Anybody can say? What is the purpose of the jail? Yes, reformation of heart. Earlier somebody was stealing. Now after being in jail for 6 months, he should stop stealing. That's the goal, correct now? Earlier he was a lawbreaker, now he has to become a law abider. Lawbreaker means he has fallen from the state laws. He's called as a lawbreaker. Similarly, we have fallen from God's laws, so we are here in this world. So how did we fall from God's laws? Because of lust, anger and greed, Krishna says. Shankara also, Shankaracharya, and there is one sloka he says that Kamaha krodascha lobhascha dehe tishthanti daskaraha jnana ratna apaharaya tasmat jagrata jagrata. He's telling, oh my dear living being, be careful, be cautious. There are 3 thieves hiding in your heart. Who are they? Lust, anger and greed. They will steal away your knowledge. You are studying Gita, Bhagavad and all these things, very good. But beware of these 3 thieves, lust, anger and greed. They will steal away this knowledge. Don't become their slaves. So these 3 thieves, when they come to you, immediately call the police. Police! Immediately police will come jumping with a lathi and thieves will run away. And who are the police? Acharyas, like Prabhupada. They are the police. So immediately take shelter of the Acharyas. Immediately these thieves can be driven away. So the goal of this universe is reformation of heart. So every one of us can look into our own heart. We can see, if I am cruel, I have to become compassionate. If I am selfish, I have to become selfless. If I am angry, I have to become peaceful. If I am greedy, I have to become satisfied. If I am rigid like a stone, brittle like a bottle, I have to become flexible like a Bisleri bottle. Isn't it? Then we have to, if we are always thinking my opinions is best, then we should be lending our ears to listen to others' opinions also. Like that. So in this way, you will see that we all know that we need a change of heart, surely. There are some deficiencies in us. And those deficiencies are only keeping us in this world. The topmost of the deficiencies is rebellion against the Lord. Not willing to follow. Like I went to one college to give a seminar on art of harnessing mind power. So towards the end, I was introducing the chanting of the holy name. And during the question answer time, I asked any questions. So one boy raised a hand and asked, Sir, is there any method of controlling mind other than chanting? He asked. I said, why other than chanting? Chanting is such an easy method. Why do you want? Other method is you go to your psychiatrist and he'll give you some pills. That's another method if you want. But the problem is if you eat those pills, they will make you dull and hysterical. You know hysterical? And you'll be laughing to yourself. Yeah. And also it makes you very dull. They become fat also. You have seen that if you take those tablets. They control your mind like a monkey's hands and legs you tie with a rope and say, chup chap, keep quiet. That's what they do with the tablet. But then you become very frustrated in life. Whereas chanting of Hare Krishna will wipe the dirt of lust, anger, greed in the mirror of your heart. And then when the dirt is wiped out, you can see the face very beautiful. So in chanting Hare Krishna, you can be jolly, happy, cheerful, and healthy. At the same time, your mind will be controlled. I said, why do you want another method? This is the meaning of rebellion. The jiva wants to do something other than Krishna's plan. Krishna has a program for me, and I want to do some another program on my own. That is his problem, due to which we are here in this world. So, in the jail, what they do, they give you food, clothing, shelter, and medication also. But in jail, you have to break stones. In jail, we have to break stones morning to evening. Breaking stone causes a lot of pain in the hands and shoulder, but that's a punishment kept. Similarly, in this world, what is the breaking stones? You have to go for a job. From morning to evening, you have to do job. Whether you work from office or work from home, you have to do it. Huh? Work from home doesn't mean you can relax in an easy chair and go to sleep. If you don't do job, they will give you a pink slip and show you the door. They'll put you on bench and remove you, isn't it? So in this world, ask yourself, from morning to evening, for 14 hours a day, who likes to work? You ask anybody, they will say that I want to work now and earn money and put in the bank, and me and my wife and children, we just want to relax after I become 50 years. Something. And many people plan like that. You will see that. You see, a man has a newly born baby at home. He want to just remain with wife and baby at home, but he has to go to office, whether he likes or not. You want to spend time with child, he can't. Similarly, it's a rainy day. You don't feel like going to office. Everywhere it is muddy and you don't feel like going, but you can't avoid going. You have to go. The material world means breaking stones. You may not like. So, why this is kept? Because this kind of hard work is kept for those who have a separate desire to enjoy. Just like, for example, the thieves have a separate desire from the government, then they have to suffer in the jail. But to the degree we align our desires with Lord, even if one is in the midst of grahastha ashrama with many duties and children to be raised and job to be done, our life will be much more smoother provided we align with the Lord's will. Life will become much more simpler and easier for us, irrespective of, even one of the brahmachari, if he has many materialistic desires, even brahmacharis suffer also. It is not only the grahasthas will suffer. Anybody who has desires separate from the Lord suffers, and this material world is a facility given to us to cleanse that desire, separate material desire, and to learn to align with the will. Now somebody may become angry with the Lord. Why should I align with your will? Can't I be happy myself? No, you can't be happy yourself. If a child snatches the hand from the mother and father and runs to the street, can the child be happy? There will be a truck coming, there will be an elephant coming. There are so many vehicles going back and forth. A tender child cannot be on his own foolishly. His safety and satisfaction and happiness is in the shelter of the parents. Similarly, our parents are Radha Madan Mohan. We have to be in the lotus feet. We have to be in the shelter for us to be happy. So, and also there is a tendency in a child to do naughty and dangerous things. Like a child sometimes may pick up a knife and put in the mouth foolishly. Child may touch the fire. Sometimes the child sees water in a bucket and puts the head inside and upside down he falls. Sometimes the child takes a cooker weight and puts in the mouth. In Bombay, one child put a cooker weight. Mother and father are saying, hey, spit it out, spit it out. He saying it's not bringing out. And they have to open the mouth and take it out. It was stuck in the throat and they took it out later on. So very dangerous. So the child cannot be allowed to be independent. Similarly, how many of you feel that you don't want to be independent but you want to be guided by the Lord? Correct, no? Yeah, if you are intelligent, you will understand this point. One Mataji was asking a question to His Holiness Bhakti Brihad Bhagavad Maharaj. Maharaj, if we chant the holy name, I think we can be saved from all the dangers of the world that we face from other people, isn't it? Maharaj said, yes. If you chant Hare Krishna early in the morning, you can be saved from the other dangerous people in the world and they can be saved from you. Like that he said. And she was shocked. Why they should be saved from me? He said, we also have a lot of mischievous tendencies. Because of which we are troubling others also. Others are troubling us and we are troubling others. All living beings in this world are troubling one another. The trouble giving can be seen visibly in the animal kingdom, like tiger chasing after a deer, or a fly eaten by a frog, frog by a snake, snake by an eagle. You will see that. Now that is very prominent in the animal kingdom ecological cycle. But even in human being also, a weaker person is troubled by a stronger person, correct? And a stronger person is troubled by even more stronger person. So these troubles are only in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Because material world, we have come with a script that is rebellious attitude, independent of the Lord. One boy was telling, how do you say I have rebellion? What is the proof? I asked him, honestly tell me, did you have a fight with your father? He said, yeah, sometimes I had fight. And that is a sample of the original rebellion. Isn't it? So you will see that we have a tendency to be independent. Actually, you can be independent with the blessing of the Lord. Like Narada, it's not that he is completely choked or something. Narada is completely independent. He can take his veena and fly all over the world. Lord told him, you can go to heaven, you can come to Vaikuntha. Wherever you want, you can go, Narada. I have no need to control you because you are like autopiloted plane. Huh? You are completely aligned with my will. So the moment you align with the will, your freedom increases. You will see that. Like a boy, for example, father is giving him 5 rupees and is spending it wisely, then he'll give him 10 rupees. Then he'll give him 50 rupees. Then father will give him chabi to the bureau. Anytime you can take money better, you are a very good boy. Later on, father will write all his money in son's account when he wins the trust of the father. But if a boy is smoking and drinking, the father will stop the pocket money, correct? Why should he give? So your free will is increased when you reform the heart and align with the will of the Lord. And our fate is increased and punishments are given in order to stop us from doing the wrong thing when we rebel against the Lord. As simple as that. Therefore, just as in the jail we have problems, the punishments are not given by God. Punishments are brought about by our own mischief. You understand? No? Like for example, say one boy got a fail marks in the mathematics and he was shouting to his friends, his principal is a bad guy of the school. You know, he has put fail marks for me. Now poor principal, he never saw his mark sheet. You know, principal is such a big man. Below him there are HODs and below HOD there are teachers and teachers are coming and teaching. And he failed in mathematics because of his own poor performance and he's blaming the principal directly. Similarly, people get suffering and say, why is Krishna giving me suffering? People ask, you have seen that? Hey, you are hitting your head against the wall and you're blaming Krishna for your suffering. Who told you to hit your head against the wall? Huh? So people are, doing mischief in this world and inviting suffering, and they are blaming God for that. Huh? So God is not here to give suffering. He is here to give you happiness. He is saying, come back to the spiritual world. Read the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. First 6 verses are talking about spiritual world. निर्मानमोहाजित संगदोषा आध्यात्मनित्या विनिवृत्त कामा द्वन्द्वैर्विमुक्ता सुख दुःख संज्ञैर् गच्छन्त्यमूढा पदमव्ययं तत्. Who can go back home, back to Godhead? Lord Krishna is telling in that verse in the 15th chapter. He says, one who gives up his false pride, nirmana, false prestige, false pride he gives up. And he gives up the illusory chase after the mirage in this world. In this world, everybody is accumulating material goods for happiness. But these are all going to be taken away at the time of death. He says, instead of chasing after the mirage of woman, money, wine, and all these things, a person should chase after Krishna. Nirmana, moha, jita, sanga dosha. Sanga dosha means one should give up the lower nature of rajoguna, tamoguna activities. In rajoguna, we become over ambitious and angry and greedy and competitive and climbing on the heads of others to climb the ladder of success. And in the tamoguna, one is confused, bewildered, and one is indulging in all kinds of dirty habits, putting substances into the body which are destructive. And a person is indecisive, confused, and lethargic, and not taking any initiative. So he says, give up this rajoguna, tamaguna, and in sattva, situate yourself and practice devotional service. And jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya, situate yourself in a spiritual platform. Vinivritta kama, be done with lust. Lust means give up the adamant desires for the prohibited activities like illicit sex or meat eating or intoxication or gambling. Give up these activities. These are all sinful activities which are destructive for the soul. Not only soul, body, mind, soul, all the three. Vinivritta kama, dvandvair vimukta. He says, go beyond this. Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apaman. Don't unnecessarily cross with other living entities in this world. If you are going to take the other living beings' speeches seriously, you will enter into arguments with them and you will get stuck in this world. He says, go beyond the dualities of pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor, victory and defeat, profit and loss. These are all temporary. Go beyond that and fix your intelligence and your focus on spiritual platform, he says. And gachanti amudha. Then a person becomes amudha. Mudha means two people are called muda. One muda thinks, I am the body. We are not the body, we are the spirit soul. After you know I am not the body, I am the spirit soul, there's another type of fool who thinks the soul only is God. He is second type of fool. So he doesn't know the difference between soul and God. Soul is like child of God. God is ultimate. So we should know these two things. I am not the body, I am spirit soul, and I am part and parcel of Supreme Lord. These two things, if you know, you are called Amuda. You are not foolish, you are intelligent. Like he says, Utkramantam Siddhamvapi Munjanan Vagunanvitam Vimudha Nanu Pashyanti Jnana Chakshusha. There are two types of people. One is called Vimudha, another one is Jnana Chakshush. Muda people don't know what is living, what is dead. But Jnana Chakshush people know how the soul enters the body, how the soul resides in the body, how the soul quits the body, how the soul occupies another body, how the soul occupies a body based on his mentality and mindset. All that they understand very clearly in a scientific manner. They are Jnana Chakshush. So you become a Jnana Chakshush and understand Krishna's activities to be divine, Krishna's birth to be divine. What he says? Janma karma cha me divyam yevam yo veti tatpataha tyaktva deham punar janmanaiti mameti sorjana. He says, you will not return back to this world. Instead, you will come back to Goloka, from Bhuloka to Goloka. You will come back to me if you know my activities to be divine. So, the first thing is, we should know that I am in samsara, sagara, drowning. I have to get out of this ocean. Why it is compared to an ocean? Because in ocean, suddenly anytime shark may come in front of you to devour you. Similarly, in this world also, sometimes there is a financial crunch. Some of the boys going to America told me, when I was in America a few days ago, they said the American universities charge very heavily, like $50,000 for MS or something. Now these fellows, when they go, the father sells the house and gives the money to the son. Better go to America, complete your studies, and earn good money and build another house for me. Come back and build a house. So some people have to do that. Some parents don't have one house. So the boy goes and washes the cars. He works in a hotel to make money to study there. It's a lot of hard work. One boy is working 9 p.m. to 9 a.m. In the hotel. Daytime has to go to college. This world has so many struggles. You can see that. There are financial crunches. Sometimes there is a automobile accident. Sometimes there is a deadly disease that ravages our body. Yeah. Sometimes there is a misunderstanding of you and somebody else. Sometimes a near and dear one passes away. This world has many, many dangers like sharks coming and devouring us. Also, there is lust, anger, greed. Anytime we can fall down if you are careless. To any of these three enemies also. So these are compared to the sharks. And also in ocean, there are always waves. Similarly, sometimes you are up in the wave, you are smiling, sometimes you are drowned below the wave. In this world also, sometimes you are something pleasurable, sometimes painful. It goes up, comes down, goes up, comes down. There's crest and trough. In the ocean, you will see that. And not only that, if you're swimming in the water, for a while, it may be jolly experience. But after some time, even a swimmer will get tired or not, if you throw him in the middle of Atlantic. Isn't it? Similarly, in this world, some people find life very thrilling in their youth. They say that, why do you guys spiritualists say this world is bad? I find it challenging. I find it thrilling. Yes, thrilling. Wait and watch how thrilling it is. After some time, you'll get tired. Thrill will go away. Thrill will become peril. After some time. As you grow, like one boy and girl fell in love with each other in the college days. After they married, now they are fighting like anything. Once they met me, they said, after marriage, we are like cat and rat. Fighting. Of course, after coming to Krishna consciousness, they both have become good now. They have given up the fight now. But why? You will see the same people whom you love very much, you fight with them or not in this world, correct? No? You terribly fight with them. But you can't leave them also. If you leave them, you feel bad. If you stay with them, you fight. That is samsara. And one man was telling, he becomes too angry. He slapped his wife, and wife went to her parents' home. And this fellow, 2 weeks he cooked himself and realized, my Lord, cooking is so difficult. He called his wife. Wife said, I will not come. You slapped me. Then after 3 months, he personally had to go and bring her back. So when he is living with wife, he fights. When she goes away, he suffers. That is samsara. Samsara means it will not let you go this way or that way. Both ways you will suffer. Just like sometimes this nose is, something is coming out of the nose, You do, it goes inside. After some time again it comes. So sometimes you go to the wash basin, you want to spit it out. You do, and nothing comes out. When you come to sit with the book, it will come like this. So samsara is like that. You can't go this way, that way. You're rigidly put in a situation. So actually, unless you understand, I don't want to get old, but I get old. I don't want to get disease, we get disease. I don't want to die, we die. I don't want to quarrel with anybody, we quarrel. Many people ask, Prabhu, our family is a very pious family, we are a very good family, but we have come to you for one problem. We don't know why sometimes we lose our temper and become so angry with each other, to the point where instead of life getting better, it becomes bitter. What do people come and ask? Many people. And because it is due to the impurity in the mind. When the chanting of the holy name cleanses the mind, when the mind becomes clean, all these impurities will be gone. That's the purpose, first purpose too. So we have to get a desire to get out of the material world. Second is evoke surrender to the Lord. Actually, unless we understand what is our precarious position in which we are in, we will never take shelter of the Lord, correct? No? And then the third thing is, one should know that from Brahma down to the ant, all living beings in this world suffer from karma bandhana, it says. From Indra to Indra Gopa. Indra Gopa is a tiny red insect. From Indra to Indra Gopa, everybody is bound by some sufferings. You will see that in this world. Like we may be thinking that people in America are happy and people in India, people are suffering. So I am going to America last 4-5 years for preaching. So I met one Indian couple. I asked them, what is your plan? They said they're thinking of coming back to India after earning some money. I asked why. Every year, at least 2-3 times a year, there is shooting in the schools. Last year in Connecticut, suddenly one boy took the gun. He shot many, 15-18 children, like that. And every year you hear 2-3 instances like that. Because licensed gun is allowed, but anybody can go berserk anytime, correct now? Imagine if gun is there, so they will naturally use it also sometimes, correct now? Very dangerous. Very dangerous. Yeah. So money is also there, danger is also there. Correct, no? You will see that. So therefore, one should know that this world is temporary. Money, either you will leave money or money will leave you, one out of the two. If thief steals money from you, money left you. Or money didn't leave you, your bank balance was safe, then one day you leave and go, somebody else will enjoy the bank balance. So money is temporary, body is temporary, all our relatives are surrounding us temporary. So one should realize this. And that is one of the reasons why the pralaya is kept. So, for example, we are living a happy life. Suddenly, grandfather passes away, grandmother passes away. Then people start thinking, what is this death? Why my dear one has left me? Then people are shattered, and then they turn to Bhagavad Gita. And that's how the living beings, understanding the temporal nature of the world, will turn to God. Then it refutes demigod worship, which means demigods cannot take us out of this world. That we will understand by pralaya. Correct, no? Demigods they are also finished, including Brahma also. Brahma also has a lifespan. When Hiranyakashipu asked Brahma, can you please make me Amar, immortal? Brahma said, even I am not immortal, how can I make you immortal? He said, nobody is immortal except God in this world. And then our helplessness and insignificance can be understood. Like Lord says, what is that verse? Prakritim swam avishtabhya visrijami punah punah bhuta gramamimam krishnam avasham prakriter vashat, he says, I create these worlds just like in the night when you are going to sleep, you put the mat, open the mat, and then morning you wind up the mat. Like that the Lord creates the worlds and He winds up the worlds. As easy as that. For Him it is no difficulty. But for the living beings, the very helpless situation they are in, because none of us want to see our near and dear one leaving us. During Corona time, some people died, isn't it? So near and dear ones got shattered. So that's the way this world is. None of us want to get old, but we get old, we get diseases and sufferings in the body. So in this way, when we are helpless, we ask questions. Why this? Like Buddha asked a question, Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. Why people get old? Why people get diseases? Why people die? Why can't we be happy forever? Then he went and sat under the Bodhi tree and attained Bodhisattva, enlightenment, correct? No? Once we understand I am not the body, I am the soul, and our relationship with Krishna is awakened, then the body, then all the problems in this world become puny and insignificant for us. It will be, because they will go far away. Because you have understood who you are, and you have to act in that relationship. The next one is makes us broad-minded. The modern education teaches you to go for micro research into the doctorate field. If you see when you enter, like I was doing a research in finite element modeling. So my teacher asked me, "Would you like to go to University of Orlando, Central Florida, and I will make you a PhD student in finite element modeling?" In those times, in finite element modeling field, there were only 10 people or 15 people across the globe publishing papers in those days. Now it has increased now. So every research student will tell you, in his area, not too many people are there. Very few people know. When I published some 5, 6 papers, my friends came and congratulated me. I asked, "What did you like in my paper?" They said, "We didn't understand anything. We saw only differential equations. But surely something complicated. Otherwise, how did International Magazine accept it?" So everybody works in a very narrow field. Narrowed down. Whereas Shastras teach us to become more and more broad-minded. Udaradhi. Like, for example, you hear that, Mahavishnu creates millions of universes, and inside each universe, there are 14 planetary systems. And Lord, at the bottom of the universe, he lies as Pankajanavi, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, who creates Brahma in the lotus. And then Brahma is given the order by the Lord to do the secondary creation, 8.4 million species, and provide food for them and everything. And then we understand in this entire planetary system, we are in the middle one, in the Bhumandala, in which we are actually, our whole solar system is a very tiny thing. You can see that we are so small in this. So then we understand where am I and what is the vastness of the universe. You become very broad-minded. And you understand that the whole universe is going to be entering into the body of Mahavishnu. How life is, our life is like a flash of time in the time span of eternity. Then you understand this life is not all in all. Beyond this world, there is a Vaikuntha planet, spiritual world. I have to go there. So it makes you broad-minded. And then gives us spiritual perspective. Yeah. Nowadays many scientific theories are coming. They move for a while and then they throw it off and bring another theory, correct? No? Science is always, coming up with better and better understanding, which means they are coming up with better and better imperfect relative truth. They can never arrive at the absolute truth. Like, we had, in those days, Dalton said atom cannot be split. Then Rutherford came up with his model of atom also has details, atom can be split. Then afterwards, Bohr came with the model of 1s2 2p6 and all the writing the structure of these things. So now, inside an atom, they have found many more things, not only protons and neutrons, there are mesons and then whole atomic physics. There is so much is there. You go to Google and search for cosmic eye, you will see micro, how much details are there, and macro, how much details are there. So, but one thing you'll understand, if you go either micro or macro, you will never get anywhere. So best is understand the spiritual perspective, which is given in the Shastra, that once you go beyond the material world, never coming again to this world. And then we also understand Lord's greatness. How great is God? We are like a frog in the well in this world. Our understanding of material world with the scientific perspective is very limited. And the Shastras give a very broad perspective. Even if you look at the sky, where does the blue sky end, we cannot assess. Although it's a material phenomenon. Think about it. We are very limited by 4 defects. Imperfect senses, to commit mistakes, to be put into illusion, then commit mistakes and cheating. Whereas Lord is giving truth, which is beyond defects. So these are the 8 reasons I found out about the, why the annihilation is kept. So here in this purport, in today's verse, is saying that to cross this one example I told you is the demigod. Taking shelter of demigod is like what? To cross the ocean, holding the tail of a dog. Now one more example is given in Bhagavatam. The materialistic people, how they want to cross this ocean? By sitting in a stone boat, it is said. So when I read Bhagavatam, I was wondering, how can you sit in a stone boat? What will happen if you sit? You can't even keep it on the water, it will immediately drown. And Bhagavatam's answer is yes, that's what happens. You say, no? Kamala dala jala jivana tala mala bhajahu haripada nitire. Yedana yavana putra parijana ite ke ate parate tire. Kamala dala jala jivana tala mala bhajahu haripada nitire. Bhajahure mana Srinanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Durlabha Manava Janama Satsange Karoho Ye Baba Sindure. So in this song he is telling, our human life is so short. Say, as a president of Pune temple, I must have seen at least 20-25 deaths of people passing away, and I have been to the graveyard also. When people pass, we go to their home. And this person has been living in a small flat with his family, wife, children, and all his life he has been living. And then eventually you will see he gets 70, 80, or a certain time comes and the person passes away, the relatives come, and then they officially, formally come and go, and devotees go and do kirtan when the body is being taken and they go. I realize this happens to everybody in every family. Grandfather passed away, grandmother passed away, father, mother will pass away. We have to pass away also. So this body is not a permanent phenomenon. It's a perishable, temporary commodity. It's a tool given to us to become Krishna conscious. If you use this human form of life to become Krishna conscious in this life, you are the most intelligent person. Otherwise, this body is used for sense gratification. This body is going to worn out, get worn out like a machine, any other machine. And at the time of 70 or 80 years of age, if I still have material desires, that's an indication that I need one more material body. Because now imagine I am an 80-year-old man, I still have lust, anger, greed and all this, then I need one more body to give shape to those desires. But if my mind and heart are filled with remembrance of Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, spiritual activities, I am completely engaged in spiritual activity in my old age, then that means I need only a spiritual body. It's very scientific phenomenon it is. So, therefore, materialistic people are compared to boarding a stone boat where they are sure to get drowned. They're sure to get, that's what stone boat example is given. And the jnanis, they don't board any boat. No dog catching the tail of dog also, and no sitting in stone boat. What they do, they say that they say we will swim across the ocean ourselves by our austerities, by our meditation, by our study of the Upanishads and Vedanta, by vimarshanam, by analysis. So, and they are under the notion, so hum, that's what they meditate on. So hum sa aham. That means I am that absolute truth. That is our understanding. So, actually Vaishnavas and impersonalists have a greatest difference in their opinion in these two things, which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu resolved by teaching the Achintya Veda philosophy. Actually, we are one with God and we are simultaneously different from God. Just like if you have a gold earring or a gold nose ring, that gold is same as the mountain of gold, but yet the quantity is very small. So we are tiny jiva, same in quality with God, but we are not God. A drop of water in an ocean, it cannot wreck a ship, but an ocean can wreck a ship. A drop of water does not have waves, ocean has waves. A drop of water does not have sharks, but ocean has sharks. These are the difference aspect. And what is the similarity? The drop of water and ocean water have same percentage of salt. In quality, they are same. So we should know what is similarity in, like we have Sachidananda body, God is also Sachidananda body. Similar. Like for example, look at Narendra Modi, Prime Minister of India. He also has a head and a hand, 2 hands and 2 legs. You also have head and 2 hands and 2 legs. He looks similar. But he can declare a holiday for the whole country on his birthday. Correct or not? Can any of us declare? No, you can declare, but nobody will listen. So what is his power? What is our power? Correct. No? So we have to know, even Prime Minister and the citizen has so much difference. How can God and the Jiva be same? One should not foolishly think like that. So, therefore, what I was saying before that? Before I gave the example, yeah. Jnanis, they imagine Soham. I heard a story. One man was sitting under a tree. Some impersonalist had preached to him and said, always chant, Soham, Soham. He was chanting. One Vaishnava was passing by. He thought, "Arey, this fellow is imagining himself to be God." Huh? So he went to the man and said, "My dear man, I will teach you a mantra, which if you chant, you will very easily go back to Godhead." The man said, "What is to be done?" And the man said, "But I don't want to learn. I already have a guru. I am chanting already Soham," he said. And the Vaishnava said, "Okay, you continue chanting Soham, but add one Da to that," he said. Da Soham, Da Soham, Da Soham, he said. Huh? And he was chanting. Next day morning, that the impersonalist came there and said, "Hey, he has become Das now, servant." Huh? So then this man said, "No, I don't want any more mantra, enough now," he said. He said, "Okay, I will just add one small word to that." Said, "Add Sa to that. Sada Soham." Huh? That means always I am God. Huh? Sada Soham, Sada Soham, he said. Then Vaishnava came in the evening. He said, "Again you got spoiled? You're thinking you are God? Add one more Da to that. Dasa Dasoham, Dasa Dasoham." Huh? So this competition will go on. Vaishnavas always want to become Das, Dasanu, Das. And impersonalists want to become Bas, Basanu. Bas. They want to be God. Huh? They want to be God. So read 7.24 Bhagavad Gita. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mam abuddhayaha. Krishna says, if people think that I was impersonal before, now I have become a personal Krishna God, they are abuddhayaha, they are unintelligent, Krishna is saying. Read 14.27, where Krishna is saying that the impersonal Brahman is my attribute. I am the original. I am the support of the impersonal Brahman. You can read many verses like that. Anyway, Jnanis don't take shelter of the Lord. If they don't believe in form of the Lord, how will they catch hold of his lotus feet? They don't believe in the form only. There is no feet also available for them. They only see the light only, that's all. But those who are devotees, they get a boat to board. I saw a beautiful picture in BTG magazine where there's a big ship which was going in the ocean of gutter water. In that ocean, people were drowning and somebody was having a liquor bottle, somebody was catching a woman, somebody was smoking cigarette, they were all drowning. But in this ship were sitting all the devotees. Devotees were raising arms and doing kirtan and dancing in the ship. And the ship was steered by Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, with a cap, and there is a flag in the ship, it was written ISKCON. ISKCON board was, flag was put up. And some fellows were raising hands and dancing and singing. And in the rear end of the ship, I saw the people were throwing ropes down into the ocean. And they were inviting people to come up, catch the rope, and they are pulling them into the ship. Who are they? Devotee. No, they are devotee, both are devotee only. But what devotee? Preachers. Those are preaching and bringing, book distributors, preachers, Harinam Kirtan singers, those who are doing outdoor activity, going and inviting the suffering souls to get into the ship and not drown in the ocean and suffer. Correct? No? So that ocean is samsara sagar. So in this way, we all got a very good boat of ISKCON society. Srila Prabhupada has given us. So we are sitting in the boat. There is a Bhakti boat. In this Bhakti, the Lord's lotus feet, you are very safe. You can actually take part in the aratis, chant and dance, take prasadam, hear the philosophy, hear the sweet pastimes of the Lord, and hear information from the spiritual world. Got the darshan of Vaikuntha when he performed penances. See, our penance should be tapodivyam. Tapodivyam means divine tapasya, not material tapasya. See, what is material tapasya? Without telling any word, I can show you a picture. Just 1 minute. See this one. See this. This is material tapasya. See that? Bombay. Bombay train is like this. So it's not that these people are not doing tapasya. They get up 5 o'clock in the morning, night they sleep at 10 o'clock. And all day they slog hard. That is also tapasya. But what tapasya it is? What tapasya it is? Material tapasya. But we have to do spiritual tapasya, he says. So what is spiritual tapasya? Very simple. See here, Brahma. So in the dawn of creation, Brahma, when he was born in the lotus, he saw only darkness everywhere, all around. And he was wondering, who am I? Why am I born? I'm sitting in the lotus. He got off from the lotus and he walked through the stem down. And he reached the navel of Lord Vishnu. And then also he could not see Vishnu. It was darkness, which clearly shows, unless our heart is fully cleansed, we won't be able to get darshan of the Lord. Again he climbed up the stem and then sat down. And Lord gave him an instruction. Ta, pa. He gave him. Perform austerity. And he gave him Kama Gayatri mantra through his flute. So Brahma heard that. And then he started chanting that mantra 100 celestial years. After that, Brahma got the realization. You will see here, Brahma saw the darshan of the Lord. Lord's beautiful form. He got his darshan. Then Lord also showed him the creation. Like this, Lord showed his material creation in Karana ocean, which was mentioned in this verse. In the Karana ocean, Mahavishnu is lying, and all the universes are created like this from the pores of his body. And all the universes are going out of him and some are entering into him. Like this. And inside each universe, Lord Vishnu expands his Garbhodaksha Vishnu, from whose navel Brahma was born. And all of us are also born in the same lotus only. Millions of shining particles like glowworms, which are the jivas. Amongst them, he identified Brahma as the leader. And he told Brahma, for all these jivas, give them bodies, 8.4 million species. And also put them in upper, middle and lower planetary systems. Urdhvam gacchanti sattvasta, madhye tishtanti rajasa, jaganya guna vrittista, adho gacchanti tamasa. Sattvic people put them in heaven, Rajasic people put them on earth, and Tamasic people put them in hellish planets, lower planets. And then give them all respective bodies to do their activities, what they want to do. So Lord ordered Brahma, and Brahma did that. So before the Lord ordered him to do all these things, after Brahma's penance, this is the darshan he got. Lord's dhoti he saw, lotus feet he saw, Lord's chakra, shank, and the beautiful smiling face of the Lord with mukut and his earrings, shark-shaped earrings, glowing, shining. Then
Shri Vishnave cha vidmahe Vasudevaya dhimahi Tanno Vishnu prachodayat. Om Shri Vishnave cha vidmahe Vasudevaya dhimahi.
in this way, Brahma meditated on the Lord 100 celestials, after which, when Lord appeared to Brahma, now Brahma got the darshan of Vaikuntha. Darshan of Vaikuntha. Lord Vishnu appeared in front of him, not only with a smiling face. Lord came and shook his hands. That's the first handshake of the universe. Prabhupada says all other managers in the world are shaking hands, following in the footsteps of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu was the first one to shake the hand of Brahma. So, and Lord Vishnu smiled at Brahma and said, my dear Brahma, you have succeeded in your penances. I will award you 4 gifts of your austerity. First is Lord appreciated him, appreciation. Then the Lord gave him a responsible position as the father of all living entities in this world. Then he offered him benediction. Benedictions, he asked him, any vardhan, any boon you want, I'll give you. Then fourthly, he said, I will offer you revelation of the spiritual world. At this point, Brahma, of course, Brahma did all these things. So the revelation of Vaikuntha, if I have to show that, that will take some time. What he showed in Vaikuntha, I will just briefly tell you in a couple of minutes. When Brahma saw the vision of Vaikuntha, Lord Vishnu gave, in Vaikuntha he saw the Vaikuntha Vasis flying in aeroplanes. Their bodies were bluish like clouds, and their wives' bodies were like lightning, white. And all of them had spotless beauty. The husbands had mukut and kundal, and they had Shankha Chakra, Gada, Padma. They looked very similar to Lord Vishnu. And all the Vishnu Dutas were equally young. In this world, some are old, some are young, correct, no? The old people become invalid, young ones are strong. Whereas in spiritual world, everybody has similar body. It's very difficult to say who is old, who is young. Everybody has a similar number. It's like a 16-year-old. They all look young. Always they're like that. They look very young and healthy. And they have spotless bodies. Some bodies were bluish, some were like diamond color. Diamond color shining. Some of the Vishnudutas were like that because they belong to the four categories of Sarishti, Salokya, Samipya. Their bodies are slightly different colors. So in the Vaikuntha planets, their eyes were like lotus petals and they had tender bodies. And they had the glittering dhoti, like golden dhoti they had wore. And one of the things that Brahma found was all of them were very desperate and eager to serve Lord Vishnu. And nobody was into sense gratification there. Husband, wives, consorts, they were all engaging in making garland and offering to Lord and singing with instruments, playing veena, playing mridangam, playing tabla, many instruments, and singing the glories of the Lord profusely, singing poetry of the Lord, rendering different type of services. Brahma saw even Lakshmi, goddess of fortune. She has a group of her associates, and she is making a tulasi garland to offer to the Lord. Even when Lakshmi is sitting in a swing and swinging, even while swinging, she is singing the name of the Lord. Even in enjoyment, also people remember the Lord. In this world, when we are enjoying, we forget the Lord. When we are in trouble, we run to the Lord. Where in spiritual world, even in enjoyment, they were all remembering the Lord. We saw. Even Lakshmi is taking a sweep, like a sweeper. One Lakshmi also has a mukut and kundal and everything. She has a costly dress and jewelry and all that. But Lakshmi has one hand she is holding a lotus. Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charana Arabindam Leelam Bujena Harisad Mani Mukta Dosha. Mukta Dosha means Lakshmi ji permanently stays in Vishnu's lotus feet in Vaikuntha, whereas in material world, Lakshmi jumps from one pocket to another. She doesn't stick on to one person. There she is not chanchala. She is fixed in Lord's lotus feet. And then it says that she took sweeper in, what do you call it? Jado. Broom in her hand. And she was sweeping the Vaikuntha. Although the floor was like mirror. Why she was sweeping? Just to see a smile on the face of Lord Vishnu. Everybody was in a seva bhava. She's the mother teaching every living being how to serve Lord Vishnu. So Brahma saw all this darshan. And how the spiritual world is a beautiful place. There are flowers which are available in all the seasons. Fruits available in all the seasons. And so this is Vaikuntha darshan he got, Brahma. That is on the other side of Vaitarini. There is no death, no old age, no disease there. And this side of Vaitarini, we are there now. So we have to cross this ocean of samsara and go there. That's what this verse says. So in this world, the easiest path to go back to Godhead is board the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord. What is the meaning of that? As simple as the purpose says, take a tulasi, mix with chandan, and stick it in Krishna's lotus feet. Then you will never come back to this material world. Prabhupada writes it in Teachings of Queen Kunti, one place. Yat pada pankaja palasha bilasa bhaktya. When he's quoting that verse, he's saying, our pujaris do that every day. When they are dressing Madan Mohan in his lotus feet, they put a tulsi leaf and they offer the bhoga to him. They decorate Radha and Krishna and Gaurnitai, Jagannath, Subhadra, and put nice dress. So instead of decorating our body, we decorate the Lord's body. Instead of praising about ourselves, we praise the Lord's glories. Keep him in the center. This is the way we take shelter of his lotus feet. We chant Hare Krishna. ABCD. Associate with devotees. Study Bhagavad Gita Bhagavatam. Chant the holy name. Eat the diet which is sanctified prasadam. And engage in seva. These 5 things we do, that is boarding the boat of Bhakti Yoga. Lotus feet of the Lord. Very easily we can go. Even a child can cross over the ocean of samsara by taking to the Bhakti Yoga. 5-year-old Prahalad, 5-year-old Dhruva, 5-year-old Dasiputra who became Narada. They all were 5-year-old. They all went back to Godhead. Such a easy path. It's a simple path, easy path. Prabhupada says it is simple for the simple, complex for the complicated minded people. So it can be very simple for us, provided we give up our duplicity and give up our mischief and be willing to adopt this very beautiful path of Bhakti Yoga sincerely. Then we are safe in the boat and stay in the boat. Don't jump out of the boat. Prabhupada started this ISKCON society, which is like a big boat or a ship, and we all are already inside it. So we should throw the ropes of book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan, Prasadam distribution, youth preaching, congregational preaching, boys preaching, girls preaching, children preaching, everything. and then get more and more souls into the ship. The beauty of the ship is it can accommodate the whole world. He said, no, Prabhupada made a house in which the whole world can stay in. Because it's a spiritual ship, it is not a mundane ship. Spiritual ship can accommodate. There is no dearth of space. There is adequate space for everybody. So let us do that and bring great pleasure to the heart of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Anantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Thank you very much.